As a yoga teacher, you want to be able to help people with their alignment, but perhaps you're not quite sure exactly how to do that. You've given different cues and it just doesn't seem to be working. So today what we're going to look at is specific alignment with relation to the knee in any type of position where it has a tendency to do this. Now, generally, when we look at a position like this, and we want to encourage our students to move from this into that, we often tell them to turn the foot out. This actually creates more of a limiting external rotation through the hip versus when we turn the toes slightly in. So we're going to look at this in two different poses, goddess pose and our extended side angle. So when you get your students to come into goddess pose, this is really, really common. You've probably seen this a lot. Now you might give your students the cue to press the knees back, and generally what they're going to do is also turn the toes out more. Now turning the toes out more here might work for some people, but for those people that it doesn't, you give them the cue to actually rotate their toes slightly in, which then gives the capacity to press the knees more back. This is a really, really great tool to use in order to allow this rotation to feel more accessible and also to feel a lot more supported within the musculature and the structure of the body. So instead of just going with this cue of pushing the knees back, which then often results in your students turning their feet back more, we cue toes slightly angled in to press the weight to the outer edges of the feet. And when we do that, we get more of a recruitment of the muscles that support the body in this position, which makes it more accessible, functional, and sustainable in the long run. Now, the same thing goes for this extended side angle. When we get into this position, maybe you have a lot of rules that you teach your students about where this foot should be facing. But really, the foot doesn't matter so much if it means that this position is going here. So we can have the big toe pointing forward, but that again might actually rotate the thigh inward. So what we can do instead is cue to maybe have the pinky toe pointing forward, or even just that simple instruction to curve the front foot in slightly, depending on the person, as the weight presses towards the outer edge of that foot. Then we get proper activation through the supporting leg here in order to work the rotation to keep this kind of alignment in the body if that's what suits that person. So foot curves slightly in, knee presses a little bit back, activation is there, you've got a good strong structure that is doable, accessible, and really allows people to connect with their bodies on a different level.